Good evening, everyone. We got good audio? I think it looks like it. Good evening, everyone. My name is MoarRightRudder. I'm a real-world 747 first officer. Tonight, we're going to be going Taipei to Kai Tak. For those of you that don't know, Kai Tak was Hong Kong's primary airport until about 1998 that they closed it down. But that's where a lot of cool photos have come from with their very difficult approach. It's called the IGS-13. Takes you right over the top of the city with the famous checkerboard hill. So we'll be doing that tonight in the TFDi MD-11. Go ahead and say hi to chat. Aviation Bros, welcome. Big thank you to Aviation Bros. They did the thumbnail for tonight. Looks fantastic, and you got to use the new GFX wing and wake vortices in that thumbnail, and they look fantastic. So go ahead and check them out. Dad Aviation Guy, how you doing? When you're famous, remember me as your 12th sub. Yep, I definitely will. Al's FS, glad to see you in here, man. How you doing? SNA Aviation, how are you? Flight Sim Gaming, how are you doing, man? I can't wait till you come back to streaming. The legend is back. Yeah, I don't know if we're quite legends yet. Maybe we'll get there someday. Cool. Well, we're currently sitting here at Taipei. I'm already logged on to VATSIM. If you guys want to join, feel free to come with. We still got to get the airplane fired up, so we'll get into it here. We'll get some power established. Just a quick disclaimer, I have not flown the MD-11 in a little bit, so if I'm a little rusty, please forgive me. We'll do our best, though. Wait for the APU to come online. Let's see if we can go outside and actually get some APU sounds. There we go. Let's see, APU bleed air, there we are. We'll get the IRUs starting to align. Get some emergency lights on, get the nav lights going. Okay, just stand by while we're at it. Let's see. We'll just take the shortcut. I feel like working too hard tonight. Stabilizer motion. Yeah, I'm sure we'll hear plenty of JipWiz calls tonight going into Kai Tak. Let's see, let me pull up our flight plan here. We are going as EVA 851. Yeah, we got the overlay going. I do have alerts set up, so we'll see if that works tonight, if we get any. Hopefully we do. We're still figuring out this streamer thing. I would have liked to have all the ducks in a row before we started doing this, but it seems like it's more of a learn as you go type deal. Am I doing 2 legs tonight? No, probably just the one. Trying to keep it short. Let everybody go to bed at a reasonable time. For the cruise altitude, we're going to do 380 and cost index of 57. Let's see what the alternate is. Zulu Golf Golf Golf. I do believe that's Shenzhen. Let's see, we'll take care of that in a sec. Coming out of here, we are doing 5 right. I don't believe any ATC's on over here. Doesn't look like it, so we'll just file ourselves. I'm a little surprised that I haven't gotten a squawk code yet. Squawk 2000 and call it good. Insert that. We're going into Kitech here. I think we're going to do an arrival. We should just be able to go straight to what is it? Let me pull up my charts here. Managed to find these on the interwebs. Chongqiao, I think, is what we're looking for. And let's see, minimum profile. I want to say, let's call it 675 with the glide slope. Go ahead and get this entered already. So if we go from Alato, why did you not enter? $675. Let's take a look at, know if we have arrivals in here. We may need to do a little bit of research real quick on the plan page. Just to see what the arrivals look like. Choose an appropriate one. Because I do not think I have arrivals available on my charts. Let's see. Transition none. Yeah, I think we may need to go and do some Googling real quick for some arrival charts possibly, unless you guys might know what arrival we should do. Let's see, you doing two legs? No. What airline do you fly for? I'm going to keep that private just because keep the work life and home life separate, you know. I don't feel like doxing myself. Auto ATC is not all the time, mainly just in the US. Okay, I didn't know that. That's good to know. So we'll just squawk 2000 and call it good. Do some quick Googling here for Kitech charts and see if I can find an appropriate arrival for us. VATSIM Hong Kong has some. Let's see. But I don't know if they have... Yeah, that's departures. Also departure. Here we go. Arrival chart. From Alato. I think we could do the Magog. Magog 1-3. From Alato. Let's see if that winds up working. Yeah, Alato Magog Alpha 50. There we go. That looks way better. Perfect. Alright. Go ahead and set the payload and fuel. I won't bother with boarding with GSX. We'll just get up and get going here. Let's see. Go to... grab some performance for... You're doing 5 right. Grab the current weather. Grab our takeoff weight here. Calculate that. Go back to init. Throw some weights in. 47.7. That was... Oh, you know what? I need to change. Because I'm weird. My brain works in kilos and heavies, so kilos is going to make a little bit more sense to me. And I'm also weird when it comes to... Where is it? The tape displays. I do prefer the tape displays over... There we go. I do prefer the look of the tape displays versus the dials. So let's see. We were supposed to have... Oh, don't tell me. Oh, there we go. 21.6. Yep, that's fine. And 0 fuel weight was what? 350.8. Zero fuel weight out of range. Is it? Oh, I wonder if that's still shown in pounds. 159.1. Let's try that. There we go. That's better. We're on the 0 fuel weight. We'll take off CG. Let's see what we got for the performance here. We'll go flex of 59. Flaps 10. And we got 36, 39, and 60. With a slope, negative 0.1. And it's a tailwind at 2 knots. Do -2. For OAT, what is it, 20? There goes our alignment. IR2 and IRU aux no align. Emergency power switch. Where are we? There we are. Does that fix it? IRU still in line. What we might do is we might switch it back to instantaneous. I had this problem just the other day, and I don't know why that is. I wonder if it's just because I forgot to switch the emergency power back on. We'll see here in a second if these actually align or not. If they don't, then we'll switch them off and then back on. Let's see, no ATC, so I'll just clear ourselves up to 380. I like to set V2, just treat it like the 7.4. We'll set V2 in the speed window, and then runway heading for 5 right is going to be 054. Cool. Alright. We got that out of the way. Let's see. Let's set the parking brake. And we'll go ahead. 2000's already thrown into the squawk. Let's see if we can set you to above. Altitude reporting to on. And since we're overseas, we'll just dial in 22.8 for common and 21.5 for guard. We'll set both the listening. Since our IRUs haven't aligned, I'm going to try this and hopefully it works. We'll go to options. I think it's in behavior. We'll go RS time. Instant. Save that. Save successfully, so wish me luck. Here, we'll see how she does. Hopefully it doesn't kick everything out. Fingers crossed. It's gonna be a pain in the butt if this doesn't cooperate. Unless any of you guys got ideas to solve this. Dom Demand, What's the problem? Well, we're currently having RU initialization issues. Oh, there they go. Never mind, you just had to smack talk it a little bit. Our IRU, I think 1 and 2 were didn't want online, so I just switched it to instant over in here and reset all of them. So that seems to have worked. Let's see, I think we're all caught up otherwise. Go into the init page and hit initialize. Yeah. Yep, we're good to go. Go ahead and prepare for pushback and departure to EVA, since that's what we're currently sitting in. Let's see. We need to disconnect our ground power. That's done, and otherwise we should be all caught up. I'll give you guys a brief here. I'll just do it how I'm used to doing it in the Boeing. So, flying United 772 right now, San Fran to Dulles, about to start descent. We'll have a good descent and approach. It's not a terribly long flight. What is that, about 4 hours, I think? 4 or 5? I normally don't do that many transcons, so I'm actually not sure how long that is. Let's see, let's start with a brief. So aircraft status, aircraft's fine, we're in the sim. For the fuel, we're planning block fuel of 21.6 right now. We got 21.6 on board. Min takeoff fuel is 20.9, so we got a little less than a ton to get down to the end of the runway. Fuel on landing in Kaitak, I think we're looking at 11.6 planned. Go to Prague here, we're showing 12.9. I think the weather should be good down in Kaitak, but 12.9 should be plenty. I won't start worrying until we get down to around 6 tons, I think. For the weather, right now we're showing 290 at 6, 3,500 meters in mist, few 300 feet, 20 over 18, and 1017 is the current meter. Let's see, we'll switch that to hectopascals. Swap that to 1017, set our standby while we're at it. Planning on runway 5 right from where we are currently. We'll just taxi down Sierra all the way to the end, down at Sierra 1, runway 5 right. Runway heading is going to be 054, 12,467 feet of dry pavement. For the reject, I'll just brief as we do in the 7-4. Master caution, master warning, engine failure. Aircraft's unsafe, unable to fly. We'll perform a reject. Either get stopped on or off the runway, depending on what the scenario is, and then we'll run a checklist, ideally, where we'll just figure out what's going on since we don't have a checklist available to us. If we have an engine failure at or after V1, I'm just planning runway heading out of here. For no time threats, we'll come back into 5 right. If it's a time threat, we'll keep climbing unless it's pressurization or controllability. For the departure coming out of here, we're planning, is it Chalet 1 Alpha, if I'm not mistaken? Yep. Transition altitude is going to be 11,000. Highest MSA, 9,000 feet. Highest obstacles, 316, 16. It's terrain. No major notes on the chart. Then, let's see, we got no NOTAMs coming out of here that I know of. I'd say biggest threat. I actually haven't operated out of Taipei before. In the real world or in the sim, if you can believe it. It's still on my list of places that I haven't been, so just general unfamiliarity with the airport. We'll make sure we're going in the right direction when we taxi. How long is this flight? Should be right around an hour 15, I think. So this is definitely shorter than what I'm used to. Normally, I'm used to my short flights being at least 4 to 5 hours. So this is definitely an up and down for me. So in the box, start briefing from here. I'll do my best since I'm not really familiar with this format. We're Evo 851. Going off of 5 right on the departure, we'll do a heading of 054, 210 knots, at or above 600, then out to TP060, Novus, decoy, summer, at or above 4,000, Chally. Let's see, I think you should probably go to, what, takeoff approach, I suppose? Let's see, performance, we have N1 of 100.1, flap 10, trim 5.6, V1 136, VR 139, V2 160. Let's see. Engine out acceleration height should be about 1,000 feet. I won't bother changing that. Climb thrust, something something. I assume that's their NADP2. But we got 160 V2 in the box, runway heading 054, and top altitude's 38,000 feet. I don't think I missed anything, but that's pretty much it. We'll go ahead and get pushed back here. We'll pressurize some hydraulics, and then arm at ignition, get the beacon on, and we'll get going. Let's do a quick edit on the map here. Clear that. I think, yeah, that'll work fine. You got it. We'll start 3 first. We'll wait until the N2 gets to the fuel on indication. This is pretty much the same as, get down there. It's pretty much the same as how you do a manual start in the 7.4. We are currently on real weather, or live weather, but I've accelerated the time to be evening, so we should be arriving into Kaitak with just about dusk, so we should have some pretty city lights to look at. Start line's disappeared, we'll start 1. The sounds are amazing. You know, maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm not a huge sound guy. Like, I know bad sounds when I hear them, but you know, when people ooh and all over good sounds, I don't know, you know, that versus, I guess, the default. Captain Cargo MD-11, hey man, we're flying your airplane. How you doing? Set the brake here. I just saw, yeah. Well, welcome to the stream. We'll go ahead and we'll start 2. Assuming they're down there somewhere. Here's fuel on indication. We'll go ahead and introduce fuel. There we go. Thug's a tug and a tow bar. Oh, he's all the way back there. Oh, there you are. There's the pin. Cool. EGT's stabilized. We'll go ahead. I don't know if you're supposed to have both ignitions on. I assume it's automatic in the MD-11. Both igniters, at least in the 7.4 when you're airborne fire. So I'm assuming you have two igniters on, or armed anyways, in the MD. To be honest, I don't know. You can tell I'm a cargo pilot because I forgot to turn the seatbelt sign on. I'm not used to having passengers, guys. This isn't normal for me. Set the trim. I think we're going to 5.6 here. There we go. 5.6. There we are. Arm U. We'll get some flaps. And let's see, where are my flight controls? I think it's in config. Yes, it is. We'll arm that auto brake too. There we go. If I can get over there. There we are. Perfect. I think we were ready to go. Let's see, do we have any other traffic? No, not currently. Cool. We will start our taxi. Where are we? I think we'll head down to Quebec 5. We'll do Quebec 5 Sierra all the way down. Type A traffic, EVA 851, taxiing to runway 5 right via Quebec 5 Sierra, Type A. Away we go. We get the taxi lights on. You know what I did forget to do? I forgot to swap my throttles out with my 3-pack from the 727. That's typically what I use with the MD. Right now I got the 777 on from Blackbird controls, which I really enjoy. Swap those out real quick. We'll do our best not to crash while we're on our way out there. This will be Quebec 5 on the left. There we go. Now I feel like a real tri-jet pilot. Think you should have flown the Hello Kitty livery in the 777? Yeah. Maybe we'll do that at some point. Might be good for just for the memes. Let's see. 10-9? Nope. Yep, 10-9. Kind of hate the using the aircraft tablets in the sim. It just specifically for charts. Kind of gonna zoom in all the way and kind of difficult to read, but hey, he's live. Yes, I know. I love the MD. I do too. I think I told you I did want to fly this because I never thought I was going to get to fly the 7.4. This is going to be my first pick, but as luck would have it, I wound up getting the 7.4, and I'm pretty happy with that. So. I will say, Something that strikes me about the MD is they definitely made it, I don't want to say easy, but there's really not much that you have to do regarding systems. It's a decent bit more automated than the 7.4. It's so fun to fly. Yeah, I do like flying it in the sim. TFDi did a really great job with it. It's so auto. Yeah. Speaking of, let's go ahead, arm nav and profile. We got a green box, we're good to go. I thought I cleared you. There we go. Just go back to engine. The new L1011 so bad. Does it look good? I know a video dropped on it, but I haven't bothered to go and watch it yet. I think Boeing, Airbus need to bring back tri-jets and quad-jets. Enough with this two-engine stuff. Two engines are boring. Should probably go to transponder on. That would be good. Look fantastic? Well, that's good. Who's doing the development on it? I don't think anybody's coming. I got no changes to my brief. You're good to go. Go ahead, we'll get lights on here. I'll just stop short because I can't remember where everything is in this aircraft. All the lights I gotta finagle. Let's see, that one, we'll get the turn off lights. We'll go logo since it's going to be night. Get the strobes on, and we'll go transponder to TARA. And we will make a radio call. Type A traffic, EVA 851 departing runway 05 right, Type A. With the departure chart. Down to 8 knots, that's pretty good. Let's see if we can't, how well we can't square this off. I think we might wind up a little left. Not far enough. Yep, a little left, that's okay. Arm the auto throttle. Run it out. Here we go. One thing that I always forget. Let's do that so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. Rotate. How's the rate gear up? I think with the MD you go straight into the flight director. It's not like the 7.4 where you hold 15. data up. Data. Down. There's our flap retraction speed. Go to slats. Type A traffic. EVA 851 departing the area to the west. Type A. Here's slats retract. Hold the 210 until we get around the corner. There we go. Now she's accelerating.
Stabilizer motion.
Cine Aviation, yes. Takeoff time. To run a full toga one of these days. One of these aircraft. Breezy Henry, hello, hello. How are we doing? Welcome. Crashing Calvin, welcome to the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Just departing Type A here on our way to Kai-Tak. Should just be about an hour. Not terribly long. Definitely shorter than the last stream. Stabilizer motion. Let me see if I can get another one going for you guys. Maybe? No, she doesn't want to. MD-11 has the best callouts, dude. Yeah. Dude, McDonnell Douglas did some great callouts. I love the MD-80s as well. We might have to do the MD-80 on one of these. That's one of my favorites. The MD-80 and the 727. I do enjoy my old aircraft. Here we go. Here's 10,000. We can start accelerating. Without descending. There we go. Turn the autopilot on. Here's AP1. Get rid of the input viewer. And since we are flying passengers, I guess we'll ding. Very unique, yeah, the callouts. McDonnell Douglas had some goofy design choices, I will say that. Turn these sounds down just a little bit. They sound scary but cool. The callouts you're talking about. Yeah, they're very robotic. I don't know. Be interesting because I know, who was it? Boeing had. What was her name that did all the callouts for the Hornet? Because they did a pretty cool video with her. Passing through 11,000, I totally forgot that that's transition for around here. We'll go ahead, 1013. Set standard. And we'll go ahead and take the auto brake off as well, get the aircraft cleaned up. And we'll put the flaps back to 15 for the dial flap. Yeah, I think I saw that video. I don't know if it was Boeing, but somebody did a study where they found out that female voices got the attention of male pilots better than male voices. So that's why they decided to go with a female voice for all the JipWiz stuff, for GCAS or whatever they call it, which is pretty cool. Here's 18. We can kill the lights. And we'll put seatbelt signs on auto. And kill the logos as well. I wonder why. Yeah, gee. Get some tunes going here. Nice and quiet in the background. You guys let me know if the audio levels are decent enough. Louder, quieter, if I need to rebalance anything. I'm still working on all this. So for Kitech, did some Googling around. Found these charts by Jep. We also have the ones that are available from VATSIM. Jep charts seem just a little bit nicer, so we'll probably wind up using those for the approach going into 1.3. I did not see the same arrival chart in here as VATSIM had, but it's all programmed into the CDU, so I don't feel super pressed to go look at the terminal arrival chart. But what I'm planning is the IGS 1.3. This is the one that has you going towards the checkerboards in Kitech and making the hard right turn right above all the buildings where Kowloon City used to be. Which, by the way, if you guys have never watched anything on Kowloon City, would highly recommend. There's actually a really good YouTube video on it. Super interesting. When I went and took my walk up to the Checkerboard Hill, they've turned Kowloon City into a park. But here, let me show you what I'm talking about, because this place is wild. They called it the Walled City. So they just kept on building on top of each other. This was a real place. It's torn down now. But there's some really cool videos of it on YouTube. But they had people living their entire lives, like all the buildings were interconnected. Like all these electrical cables running through there. That's just nuts. Very cool place. See how we're doing on the altitude here. She is climbing pretty decently. Unfortunately, I don't have charts in Navigraph for Kitech. I really wish they'd add some, you know. Let's go grab old Jep charts for it and throw them in. That would be a neat thing to have. So you don't have to go crawl on the internet to go look for them. So, MD11 auto-tunes approach frequencies before he does that. It should, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it does. I guess we'll find out. Does anybody know? I'd love to be able to not find out in the moment that it doesn't. Like I said, I haven't flown this thing in quite a while. Yes, it does. Thank you. I appreciate that. $19.1 or 11.9. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, so something interesting that I learned just recently. Let me pull up. You can always put it in yourself. I'm actually not sure if it puts it in for the IGS. I don't entirely remember if it did for me. Just check passing like 010. Yeah, that might be a good idea. Just do throw it into one of the pre-selects. No, what I was gonna say, I actually learned this just recently. It was pretty cool. So in the U.S. we have the FAA flight check that goes and does quality checks the signals of localizers and glide slopes, stuff like that. I'll have to go and find it. I don't know where it is, but the guy that I was flying with, we were having this discussion about where localizers and glide slopes are good out to. And I think it's in the AIM, lays out the tech specs for it. It says standard is like 18 miles or something like that. But that's not always the case. And he asked me, that's 1,000 level. He asked me, well, how do you know for sure? Like, where is the localizer? Where is the glide slope good out to? Because, for those of us, I'm sure your SimCFI has encountered it plenty of times flying the CRJ, where you go to a place where the localizer is not necessarily reliable, or the glide slope's not necessarily reliable. And so we were talking about how can you know where the flight check data is good out to. And turns out, I just want to make sure this level's here at 380. Turns out that Jeppesen geolocates their flight check data. So if I go to, let's just go to Chicago O'Hare. I'll pick an approach chart. Let's say for like runway 10 center. Jeppesen draws the feathers and geolocates them, or co-locates the feathers with flight check data. So I'll go and see if I can find it one of these days. But you know that because of the way Jeppesen has drawn the feather point right here, the FAA's flight check data is good for the localizer probably about, what is that, right at 20 miles? Just inside of 20 miles. And they do it down to the decimal. Same thing for the glide slope. So you know that they flight checked it good out to, what, 5, 4.8, maybe 5. So I thought that was kind of cool. That's how you can tell where the flight check data is good out to, if you're ever wondering. Landing into Dulles in about 5 minutes or so. We'll have a good landing. I don't know. Is the weather still out there? Kind of poopy. Oh my god, hi MoarRightRudder. I'm a huge fan of Hi Reed. How you doing? Oh my god, I love Virginia. Tuning out for a bit, about to land. Yep, have a good landing, man. We'll just be here. About to put an A320 down into Kennedy. Is the weather that was hitting there, here yesterday in the Midwest out on the East Coast now? Or did all that stuff hit yesterday? Man, I did a flight into Milwaukee in the sim. I think the winds were gusting up to 50. It was kind of gross. Not down here in Virginia. It's pretty damn gusty in JFK. Yeah. What runway are they running into JFK right now? You don't get to do the RNAV into 1-3. Playing in 3-1 right? Okay. Let's see, we just passed Molit. See how we're doing on fuel. Let's see, Molit supposed to have 16.6, and right now we're showing 17.6, so we're doing great. Wish I was doing the RNAV to 1-3. 1-3 left, yeah. I almost got to, but the winds, we got delayed for a flight, and so the wind swapped, and I think I wound up doing, what, 4 right? Positive rate, YHZ, hello, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Just on our way to Kaitak. Got about, what are we showing here? Estimated on time 10:39, so about an hour left or so. See if we can't, we might be able to take a shortcut if we wanted to. Maybe do... Was that Alato to Magog? What's between there? Oh, that's just the top of descent. Okay, let's go to Magog. There's no ATC on, I don't think. Yeah, there's no ATC on. Let's go. Let's do it. Little shortcut, never hurt nobody. You booked a flight to San Fran yesterday because you were bored? Like for yourself? It's an awfully expensive thing to do, and you're bored when you're bored or in your downtime. Crazy? Yeah, right? Quick day trip for some plane spotting? Dude, that's some expensive plane spotting, man. Had some Delta credit that needed to be used? Okay. So you booked it with points. I'm assuming, and you didn't outright pay for it, did you? Credit covered half. Turned $70 out of pocket. That's still some expensive plane spotting, man. I don't know. Although I guess that's probably about... It's probably the price of a 172 with an instructor these days, isn't it? I did the same with some Porter vouchers a year ago as of last week. Where'd you go, positive rate? I actually have a buddy, I think, who's he's waiting on a class date for Porter. I did it to LA once and loved it, so now time for San Fran. Man. Halifax to Toronto for spotting. I've only been to Toronto a couple of times. That was at my previous job. Never actually got to have a long overnight there. The only time I've gone to a plane spotting location was in LA, and that was with one of my buddies because he's big into plane spotting. I actually didn't realize how big it is. How many people are sitting out there with thousands of dollars of camera equipment. It's kind of wild. Stayed for 3 days and spotted at YTZ and YYZ. YTZ is Billy Bishop, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it? Toronto's mixed, good and bad. Yeah, I hear that from a couple of people. When I'm on my Delta 767 eating a Biscoff cookie, I'll be very happy about my purchase. Okay, so what you got to do with the Biscoffs, I learned this from a flight attendant when I was flying the regionals. If you take Biscoffs and you take orange juice, you dunk the Biscoffs in the orange juice, and it tastes like key lime pie. Kid you not. Try it. If you're in for key lime pie, you'll love it. It actually tastes really good. Yep, Billy Bishop, 4,000 foot runway that serves Dash 8s and 400s. Yeah, actually, that's where my friend is doing all his flight training. Or at least he was. Then he was instructing, and now he's waiting on that class date. No thanks, dude. Just try it. You got to try it once. It sounds gross, but I promise it tastes way better than you think it's going to. No way. It does. I'm serious. Orange juice and a Biscoff cookie. Key lime pie. I don't know why. See, my hack is when on United I put my stroopwafel over a coffee to heat it up. Yes. Yep. I am a sucker for stroopwafels. In fact, my wife will buy me them on occasion, and that's what I'll do in the morning is I'll stick my stroopwafel over my coffee and heat it up, get it nice and warm. So good. So good. Go ahead and plug in wins into our descent page here. If I can find them. There they are. See what we had. 380. We'll start from 350. 246 at 43. And then let's do 200. That's 255 at 33. Oop. And we'll do 100. 286 at 12. You're on to something about the biscoffs and orange juice? Guys, I'm trying. I'm telling you, you go try it next time. I also love airplane coffee. I don't care what anyone says. I don't love it, but I drink it out of necessity. I need the caffeine. But you do just bear in mind that those tanks are checked not that frequently. But hey, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, right? So if you get little cases of E. coli, then when you get big E. coli, that means you won't get as sick, right? Seems delicious? Yes, it is. Yep. Never really had one, I don't think. The stroopwafel? They're great. You can get them in grocery stores, I think. I don't know if my wife gets them from our local grocery store, if she orders them on Amazon. We're gonna do our best guess for Kaitak for the wins. I think I'm just gonna use what's coming out of Hong Kong. Hong Kong proper. And right now they are calling 070 at 6. And the temp is 25. Man. It is definitely warm. Go-to snack. Similar to Tim Tams, if you've ever had them. No, I haven't actually. And there used to be a Tim Hortons in the Detroit airport back when I started flying for the regionals. And whenever we'd pass through Detroit, I never took the opportunity to get Tim Hortons. And by the time that I actually wanted to, I think they replaced it with Illy Coffee, ILY, Illy. I think that's how you pronounce it. Which, in my opinion, it's overpriced for what you get. They're charging way too much for coffee. No, Tim Tams, they're a chocolate cookie. Oh, I thought they're from Tim Tams were from Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons is just meh. I've heard that their quality has gone down as of late. But I also heard that Tim Hortons' previous coffee supplier is now the current supplier of coffee for McDonald's. And Tim Hortons got a different supplier, and that's why McDonald's black coffee is actually decent. You're thinking of Timbits donut holes? Yeah, that must be... Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. And speaking of, your SimCFI, if you're still here, I'm still waiting on the experimental results for the Timbits in between the flap lever and the thrust levers. I was told when I flew the CRJ that there's a space in between the flap lever and the thrust levers that is the perfect size to fit a box of Timbits. It's like the perfect size to slip in there and to have it be cradled. And because I've never gotten a box of Timbits, I've never been able to try it. So now that I'm no longer on the CRJ, I'm waiting for your sim CFI to go and find out. So I'm living vicariously through him. Yeah, experimental Timbits, yes. Yeah, we need these results for science. Because the CRJ was a Canadian aircraft originally built by Canadair, and the joke is that they designed it in such a way to fit a box of Timbits in there. Yep. Yeah, what was Canadian now is Japanese, I guess. Which I do have a tinfoil hat theory about that, but that might be for a later time. We should probably start briefing here. Get set up. Have a look at the takeoff approach. I think those flaps 50 give us. I don't know. Should we do flaps 50 or flaps 35? I think we do flaps. It's not gusty. I think we do flaps 50. Just for funsies. Give us a little bit lower on the pitch attitude as well. Can we enter? We can enter the transition level. 1017 down there. For the pressure. And let's see, with 1017, 980 hectopascals or above, 310. So 130. .8 to 330 will be fine. Now that gap in the thrust lever, isn't there a switch there for metric altitudes? You talking about on the CRJ? Or are you talking about on the MD-80? Switch there for metric altitudes. I mean, not in the thrust levers. There's a switch elsewhere, if I remember correctly. I'd have to go look at one of my posters that I have hanging up. I still have my paper tigers from the 200 and 700 and 900 hanging up in my office here. I'd have to go look for it because it's been a hot minute since I've been sitting in the CRJ. If your sim CFI was here, he'd know. He'd know for sure. But I feel like I vaguely remember there being a switch that you could swap onto meters. It was the most fun variant of the fly the CRJ. So I have the most time in the 900, followed closely by the 200. My hot take is that the 700 was just big 200 because it held almost the same amount of people that a 900 did, but you only had one lav, and it was all the way in the back. And it wasn't designed like the 200, because the 200 had a better design lav in the back because you could get past everybody, versus the aft flight attendant sits directly in front of the lav, so she has to come all the way forward and get out of the way. It's just a mess. The 900 was much better. Is 283 into JFK? Dude, that's fine. I'll take 283 all the time. What was the G's? I think the 900 was definitely nice to fly. I would say the 200 though was probably, it was definitely more work, but it was very fun, especially when it was lightweight. You could tell that it was designed to be a business jet, or that it came from business jet lineage, because that thing would, if you were empty, you had to do a static takeoff because it was really hard to get the thrust set manually before you hit V1 if you were empty doing a repo flight or something. 200, the thrust reversers are pneumatic. Yes, they are, and they take longer to cycle. And the triggers on the back of the thrust levers, reverser levers are really spongy, so you had to grab onto them really tight and wait for the click before you pulled them. 1.09, yeah, dude, you're fine. 1.09, that's a-okay. Like I told Lonnie, Flight Sim Gaming, I think G is a lot more telling than descent rate on landing. You know, descent rate's a decent tool, or a decent additional, what do you want to call it, information, but G is going to be what you actually feel on landing. And 1.3 feels fine. Like 1.6 is where you start getting into hard landing territory. But even then, I've had a G meter sitting on a 737, and he hit 1.5, I think is what it was, and 1.5 is definitely firm. Since the 700, 900s are hydraulic, how come they kept the thrust reverser arm switches? It's more of an just a safety measure, like an electronic circuit. As far as I know, you know, that would be my best guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they decided to keep them on the 7900. I guess I never really thought about that. But the thrust, I mean, it's just the way that they actuate. You know, we don't have thrust reverser arm or disarm switches on the 7.4, and depending on the engine type, if it's a Pratt, they're hydraulic, but if it's GE, they're pneumatic. So, you know, I don't know if it really has much to do with the actuation style. It probably just looks pretty firm on my end. Yeah, it could be, but I'd take 1.09 all day long. Let's see, we got ATIS. There's no recall to do in this thing, I think. We got the performance. Actually, let's double check here. Let's do runway 13, get weather, if we can. get the landing weight. And I'll manually enter this stuff. Let's do 070. At 06. And temperature is 25. Pressure 1017. Good job, keyboard. 1017. We'll do flaps 50. Just go no reversers, and let's see what auto brake gets us. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Do minimum auto brake, no reversers. Well, idle reversers anyways. Forgot to disarm the speed brake. That's something that I'm not used to. Yeah, I'm back. Welcome back. Welcome back, Dom Demand. Landing was alright. About to descend. Yep, we're getting there. We are just about. I'm just about to hit a brief here. Just configure the auto brakes. Pull the weather from Hong Kong proper. Let's see. I think we got everything built as far as the box is concerned. Can bug our minimums. Let's go to Barrow. And what do we have? Take a look at the chart here. We're going down to 675. Come on. There we go. Oof. Let's see. I'll do a brief real quick since we're getting close to the top of descent, and then I'll catch up with chat here. Aircraft status is fine. For fuel landing, currently 13.1. So we got plenty to do what we need in case we have a missed approach. For the weather, the current weather coming out of Hong Kong proper, 070 at 6, it's clear, few 2000, 25 over 19, 1017 is the local meter. And we are planning on arriving, doing the IGS runway 13, page 11-3 Bravo. Let's see. With the IGS, minimum's 3,200 meters, 675. That gets us 660 feet. Weather should be nice down there. I'll go and arm the approach once we get turned on to the localizer course. I'll set, I think, 1,800 for the bottom so we can keep on descending on path. I think VNAV should be able to do that for us. Landing. Go all the way to the top here. Actually, I don't know if we have an airport chart. Oh, yes, we do. We sure do. Landing runway 13, 10,930 feet, dry pavement. Plan a left turn off and then go down, I think, Bravo 1, Charlie 1. Go to cargo. Sorry, we're not cargo, are we? We'll just go to the main apron. If I start going to the cargo apron, guys, just yell at me in chat. I'll try to remember that we're doing passenger stuff. The other thing, make sure I open up the flight recorder so we can get a replay. I'll try to be better on that. Again, just yell at me in chat. Let's see. No NOTAMs. Say threats. It's just the IGS approach. We'll probably get JIPWIZ warnings going in there if we're otherwise stable on the glide slope, and I'll transition to the PAPIs once we make the turn there. We won't go around, we'll ignore them. We'll continue. That's that. Let's go into our box here. Let's see about a brief. I wish I could pull this up so you guys could follow along. It's kind of annoying. that I can't do that. I'll have to figure out a way maybe for an overlay or something in the future. Starting from the Magog 13, we got Magog Alpha, Mag 50, Mag 30 at 250, below 140. And then that's Chongqiao at 8,000, Golf 210 at 6,000, Shallow 1, then D15 at 4,500, outer marker at 1920, middle marker, runway 13, missed approach is going to be out to, what the heck is that? I forget what THVOR is. Tatong, I think, is what it is. Tatong, the hold will be at 4,500 right-hand turns for the approach. We're doing flaps 50, planning 172.1. Minimum auto brakes, we'll do idle thrust reverse. That'll be that. Questions, anything I forgot? Those winds in Dulles were pretty wild. How was your landing, Dom Demand? 16 gusting 25, yeah. Was that a crosswind or was that down the pipe? Almost decided to continue up to Boston, but I'm too tired. Reed, did you divert into Dulles, or was Boston going to be your alternate? Crosswind? Oh yeah, that is that can get kind of spicy. I did this was on my last trip. We were coming back into Anchorage, and they were landing 7s. And I think the wind was blowing 330 for 17, gust 28 or something. And I had not landed the plane since November, because I broke my wrist in December and was out for about 2.5 months. So that was fun and exciting. Went well though. Felt good to get back on the bike, get back on the horse, so to speak. Let's see where we are. Let's see. I'm just going to set the bottom because everything's connected up. There's really no reason not to. We'll roll her in here. I think we'll set. See if I can set 1920. If not, I'll set 1800. Oh. I will set 1900. There you go, we got profiled to 1900, so VNAV should be all good to go. Let's see, we still have us landing 1037. That should be good. I think we should get good lighting. Yes, I love Phoenix. When my sim pauses to load scenery, it flips me upside down. That's not good. I don't think that's supposed to happen. You still on autopilot? Yep. Oh man, that's kind of a bummer. You weren't out at low altitude, were you? You just command full left stick for no reason. It's odd. You don't have anything elsebound, do you? Oh, it's 7,000 feet? Did you recover is the important question. Ended up in the dirt. Ah. Man, that's rough. How long was your flight to get there? I hope not terribly long. Thankfully, I've not had too many issues with 2024 yet. It's been pretty stable so far. I've only had one WASM crash, and that was in the experimental build for the E175. Only 50 minutes to Vancouver to Calgary. Okay, so at least it wasn't a super long time. Being a former CRJ pilot, I am interested in the 175 just because, you know, that's the new hotness, and I finally, you know, I'd been flying for the regionals for a number of years, but had never actually jump seated on a 175, and I finally did, and was watching the airplane do everything for the pilots, and I was blown away. Versus how much work we had to do on the CRJ. I had to pick my jaw up off the floor. I think for my next Airbus flights, I'll just fly the tailless on X-Plane. We may need to pick up the X-Plane 12 if we want to do more 747 stuff, while PMDG is doing their work. Love both X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Sim. You know, I tried X-Plane 11, and I really wasn't super impressed. I think the big thing that holds me back from X-Plane is the just how much scenery you have to download. You fly that Fearless 742, I know. That may happen. We'll see. We'll see. I'm hankering for a better 7.4 than what we currently have in Microsoft Flight Sim. Buying the LTN11, I probably will. Maybe not right off the bat, but I like old airplanes. Old airplanes are my thing. The L1011 is right up that alley, so. I definitely want it. It's just a matter of money, expenditures, and hobbies, you know. I got to shell out for a new fence, actually, with the windstorm and the blizzard that blew through here. We had a tree come down in the back lot and come down on our fence. So we'll have to take care of that when it warms up come springtime, and I'm sure the fence is not going to be cheap. I'll be able to take care of the tree, but not the fence. Need the A220 to drop. I'm a sucker for Air Canada and Breeze A220s. Dude, the A220 is a cool airplane. Talked with a couple of guys who fly it for real, and they've all said positive things about it. I just wish they would have made a smaller version to compete with the 175. A220-100 kind of does, but not really. Yeah, they would have had to make it within scope for the regionals in the U.S. to actually compete with the 175, because the regionals can't fly it the way that the current scope clause stands. Like an Embraer and an Airbus mix. Yeah. E175, E2 approved? I don't think so. I don't think so, because it's something to do with the engines. I think or it's the weight. I think it might be the gross weight of the aircraft. It's too heavy, and it's not allowed in the scope clause because of that. So Embraer kind of fudged on that one. That's why you're not seeing any regionals pick it up in the United States. They all want the original 175. Surprised Porter chose the E2. They use it like a narrow body. Yeah, I mean, well, that's what it was built for. Yeah, it's just I don't think the E2 fits the inside the scope clause for the US, which is unfortunate. It would not surprise me if the scope clause eventually gets ripped out or changed, or who knows, the main lines go to an AB scale. That's been talked about for forever. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but who knows. It's an option, but as far as I know, the E2 is the only airliner with synthetic vision on the PFD. That's awesome. Yeah. You know who else has synthetic vision on their aircraft is FedEx. FedEx, I think, on their... I don't know if they have it on the triples, but I know for a fact they have it on the MD-11s, and they have it on their 7.6s, I believe. It was pretty darn neat. About to say they have it on all the fleet. That's what the little camera on the nose is. Yep. Even the operator for FedEx here in Canada, Morningstar, has it. I didn't even know Canada had a FedEx operator. I've actually never heard of Morningstar. Morningstar Air Express, they fly a couple 757s. Interesting. I'll have to listen for that call. Is their call sign Morningstar, I'm assuming? I'll have to listen to that when I'm flying around Canada next time. Yep, okay. Pretty much only fly at night? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I do about a 50-50 split, daytime and nighttime. Do a lot of stuff in and out of YYZ. Okay. Oh, sorry, YYZ. My bad. I say Z always. Don't let the other Canadians hear you. Zed sounds weird. I think it does too, but... eh. Passing through 18, I'm gonna go ahead and throw on lights. Just going like a Christmas tree here. Get the seatbelt sign on. Depends on the word, but for YHZ I would say Z, but for YYZ it's Z. Lights on at 18? Yeah, typically that's how we operate. That's how I operated at the regionals too, is lights on and off at 18. Never knew that. Yeah, I'm assuming different carriers have different SOPs, but every carrier that I've ever worked for is done lights at 18. What else other than the 7.4 and the RJ have you flown? I have about 1,000 hours in citations. I did that for flew corporate citations for about 2 years before I went to the regionals. But those are my three: citation, CRJ, and 7.4. What type of citation? 10 or just the little ones? I flew the Citation 5 Encore and the Citation 2 Bravo. So we had, the company that I worked for had 3 Citation Bravos and 2 Citation Encores. And then I hit my 1,500 hours and they asked me if I was going to stay, and I was honest with them and I said I was probably going to go to the airlines because they wanted to schedule a class day for me in the ERJ, because they also had 135s. The other ones that they had a Citation 10 and a 10 Plus, but that was the owner's aircraft. Love the low tail Citations. Yeah, the Citation, the Encore specifically, was an excellent airplane. It didn't go very fast in cruise. I think it was, 295 was VMO and 755 was an MMO. But it could climb and descend like a bat out of hell, and it would accelerate and stop on a dime. I think my record for climb rate in the Encore is probably 11,000 feet per minute on departure. And I was doing 200 knots with the nose up. Yeah, it was a great airplane. It was a great first airplane too. You know, it was basically like flying a big 172. It was super forgiving. Did your ears explode? No, the pressurization kept up just fine. Even in the flight levels, like in the 20s and the 30s, if ATC need an altitude from you, you can still climb at 2,000 to 3,000 feet per minute. ATC must have loved you guys. Yeah, I mean, felt good. They'd ask you for hitting such and such altitude in so many minutes, and you just roll it up and get a good job from ATC, you know? It was nice. Let's see, we're still on 22.8, aren't we? We are. Do they require type ratings or no? They do. So I only wound up getting an SIC type, but if I would have stayed, I would have gone for a PIC type rating. Let's see, what did we say the transition was? 13. So there we go, we can transition. Meters 1017. 1017. Altimeters are set. We're doing good. Go ahead and pull the music. Put the sounds back up. Now we're chilling. Probably make a radio call here at 10,000 feet. I didn't look. Yeah, there's some traffic in at Hong Kong proper, but looks like everybody's parked at the gate. Yeah, I think we're going to get some good lighting out of this. Oh, hello. Contact traffic, EVA 851 passing Chungchow at 8,000, planning landing runway 13 in about 8 minutes at Kaitak. Sim looks pretty good. Yeah, thanks. Still kind of ironing out settings. I've got it to a good place where performance is pretty stable most of the time. I think the only time that I've gotten major spikes, lag spikes, are during a VATSIM event. Wish I could upgrade to FS24, but I'm stuck on 2020. Yeah, FS24 performance has been pretty decent. I think it's a decent step up graphically too. But that being said, I got 24 when it came out, and I was not happy with all the bugs that were present in it, so I swapped back to 2020, and the challenge that I gave myself was to 100% all the achievements in 2020. I figured by the time that I did that, all the bugs in 2024 should be fixed. We're past slats extend speed, so we'll get the slats out. And I wound up, spending so much time in ad drag. Yeah. Go flaps 15. I wound up spending so much time in 2020 that I got it to a really good place performance-wise. And both performance and visually, I was pretty happy with 2020. It was kind of hard to leave, to be honest, just because I knew I'd have to start twiddling with 24. See, you fixed a live weather issue from Friday. Yeah, I think I figured out the cause where it's Rex Atmos. I had that starting with the sim, and what I found was if I started a simulator session, started a flight with live weather, and then started Rex, everything was fine. But the issue was Rex starting before starting a flight was causing issues with live weather.
Stabilize their motion.
Let's see. You know what? Now would be a good time to go. It didn't enter it. Okay. Let's do some quick fixing here. 111.9.088. We are going to need that. There we go. Hey, we got, well, no localizer yet. No glide slope. Okay. We'll wait for it. We still got nav and path, so we're doing fine. There's a localizer. Kaitak traffic, EVA 851. 15-mile final, runway 13, Kaitak. There's a vert alert, localizer's coming in. Still no glide slope though. There's the glide slope, there's the localizer, I'm happy, we got a good identifier. Lands armed, localizer's captured. Don't let me forget to start the flight recorder. I will forget. I think I'm gonna adjust the time just a wee bit so we get better. There we go. There we go. I think that should be perfect. maybe? What do we think? We want it just a tad darker? Are we happy with this? I think this might be alright. Let's get the lights up just a tiny bit. Kitac traffic, EVA 851, 8 mile final, runway 13, Kitac. You doing the checkerboard? Yes, we are doing the checkerboard. We are indeed doing the checkerboard, so we're going to make a hard right-hand turn once we get to the bottom here. FS24 nailed the night lighting? Yeah, I think they did. Flying this in real life would be awesome. Yeah, kind of bummed I never got to do it. Go gear down, flaps 28, arm the speed brake. Flaps 35, and flaps 50. Sure some of the 7.4s in your fleet have been here? I don't know. It might have been. I definitely know people that I've worked with that are old enough, used to fly the 7.4 classics, like for Evergreen and stuff, that have come into Kitac. They said it was pretty fun.
Hong Kong traffic, level 272 heavy, push and start, down Sierra 27, Collingwood, Hong Kong.
Going to be final audio up just a wee bit. FCR, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Are we recording? We are recording. Okay. Can I close it and it'll still record? Yes. Alright.
1000.
Stable. We'll throw the input viewer up as well. Alright, I can see the lights up for the approach there.
Approaching minimum.
Approach lights in sight. We'll continue. We are getting a little bit low on the glide slope. I'm going to disconnect.
Autopilot. Minimum.
Landing. Hopefully. We'll disconnect the autopilot as well, or auto throttle. Maybe.
400.
There it is.
400.
Follow the glide slope around. We might get a jip whiz as we're coming around the corner here.
400.
And just a touch of throttle.
200. 200.
Not quite that much. Keep her coming. A little low correcting. Yep. There's a jip whiz.
Glide slow.
Get back on the trapeze here. There it is.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Here goes the reversers. We'll keep them at idle. Alright, we'll let the auto brakes do their thing. There's 80 knots. I didn't mean to stow those. We'll roll it out all the way to the end. Try not to smoke the brakes here. Auto brakes are off. And we'll come around, make sure we aren't cutting any corners. Contact traffic, EVA 851, clear runway 13, taxi to thermal, contact. Alright, let's catch up with chat here, and you know what, we might just disconnect from VATSIM here. We'll stop the flight recording and have a look at how we did. Disconnect. There we go, now we can do what we want. FCR, thank you for saying something, Dom. 10 hours of boredom and 10 minutes of stress, or however the saying is. Yeah.
Minimum.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and play and see how we did. Take that away. Let's get it. Looking good. Yeah. It felt pretty good. I don't think we did too bad. Thanks, guys. You're the Red Robin. I know. Yum. Heading for bed. Got a raging headache. Ah, man, that sucks. Take some Aleve or your preferred painkiller of choice, and I hope you have a better night. Let's see. What view do we think? You get pretty low on this approach. Get to the gate first? You can't tell me what to do. Wonder if we can get a good view from the ground. Oh yeah, look at that. See, how'd we do? Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Right on center line. In the touchdown zone, I'll call that a win. For those of you that are interested, let's go see what we got for the landing rate. 332 at 1.1. I think that's totally acceptable. That was more than 300. It was a hard landing. Yeah, but the G's were 1.1. I mean, come on. It was fine. We were fine. Let's back it up and see if we can get some better views. That was great. Thank you. Yeah, it was nice. You know, I think what might be fun is taking a 727, like, what, with the classic INS, and doing this. Just doing this all VOR and ground-based nav aids. I think that might be kind of fun. God, not the 727. Why not? We still gotta get you flying the 7.2, Daniel. Mr. Daniel Garcia. The 7.2 is a great airplane. You really did do a good job with the night lighting. It's too confusing? It's only confusing because you haven't flown it that much. Let's see if we can see the checkerboard hill. Yep, there she goes.
200.
I didn't do too bad. Dude, look at that! Right on the 1,000-footers. Let's go. Let's go. We are so good. We are so golden. Well,
400.
I think we're probably going to end it there.
400.
You guys are okay with that? Just call it an early night. Leave you with this.
500 minimum.
Thank you to everybody for stopping by. I know first stream was a little long. I'm figuring out that, you know, my short flights are everybody else's longer flights, so we'll try and keep them a little bit shorter from here on out, unless we're doing something special. We'll have to figure out what we're doing next time. This might be the last one. Might try and get in another one before I go back to work.
400.
We'll see. I am going to go see my mom for a couple of days because she just had a hip replacement, so I'm going to go take care of her for a little bit, and that'll be pretty much all my time taken up before I have to go back to work.
200.
I'll be at work for about 2 weeks.
200.
But after that, when I'm home in April,
200.
we'll do a couple more streams. We'll see what we can't figure out that'll be fun to fly. And if you guys want to come with next time,
100.
love to have the company.
50.
Right on the markers, I know. I was pretty proud of that.
10.
When it came close to that good, it's just lots of practice. Doesn't get better with like the minus 500 foot per minute on that last one, especially in this. iFly Max. So I don't have the iFly Max, but I do have the PMDG 7.3. Hope she has a smooth and speedy recovery. Thank you. I'll let her know that you said that. But yeah, thank you to all you guys stopping by. Thank you to Aviation Bros for doing the thumbnail for this evening. Again with the GFX Vortex and what you call it, wing vapes. Looks very cool. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week and going into your weekends. Make sure you stay safe. Drink some water, eat some decent food, maybe hit the gym. Take care of yourself. Be good to each other. And I will see you all later.